Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this Raw review and opinions video. So I did botch a little bit. I forgot to put the poll up for our main event match because we were talking about Girl Scout cookies, right? I did put a poll up, but we only had about 30 responses and it was coming out as a good match, right? So I've put the poll up on X and at the moment it's coming out as good 71%. That feels a bit low compared to what the score would have been. I think the score would have been like good mid-90s. On X, it's getting good 71% for the main event. So a little bit of a botch there, but I'm quite confident that that wouldn't have been seen as like a great match, right? Some people would have voted it as a great match, but I think the majority would have gone with it being a good match. So that means the best match of the night, Liv and Raquel against Io and Dakota, great 60%. Bayley, Lyra, good 92%. Then we had American Maids against War Raiders, good 94%. And then we had Logan against Ray. I think this is a little low, but currently good 71%. I did get a comment that I never give Logan his flowers. And honestly, I did. I mean, I really did used to give him his flowers. But we've seen him now for a good few years. I mean, I don't feel like I can keep saying the same thing again and again and again. Like, he is the best celebrity wrestler that we've ever seen. And he's very athletic. And, you know, he's picked this up and he's like a duck to water. He's a natural at it, right? But I've said that a lot in the past. You can only say that so many times. We're kind of at the point now where I'm past that stage. I'm past seeing him as a celebrity wrestler. Now he wants me to see him as a proper wrestler, and he's signed a full-time deal. But the truth of the matter is, I don't care for Logan, and I don't want to see Logan. And with all the kind of scams and, you know, controversies and all of that sort of stuff, I don't get excited for a Logan match. And so that is a real barrier when it comes to, you know, a Logan match, is that I go into it just not hyped, not excited, very cold. I'm sure I'll see some spots that I enjoy and I may even enjoy the match, but I don't like him. And so that's not going to change. And so I just don't want to see him, right? And it's different to heel heat. You know, with Dominic, like, I look forward to seeing Dominic, seeing what he's going to do, watching him develop, watching, like, him getting booed out the building. Like, Dominic has got proper heel heat. New Day have got proper heel heat. Logan has got go away heat. We don't want you heel heat. It's a different kind of heat. And, you know, it's unfortunate. I don't think I'm alone in that boat. I think I'm probably with the majority. But I did want to touch on that because I did get a comment on X about, oh, you never give him his flowers. And honestly, the truth is, I did. When we first started seeing him, I did give him his flowers, but I just don't feel like I can keep repeating that again and again and again, you know? Like, oh, what an amazing celebrity he is, you know? He wants us now to see him as a full-time wrestler. And so we're going to embark on that now. 2025 is all about Logan trying to be a full-time wrestler. So let's see how that goes, shall we? In regards to this Raw, I'm ready for people to have different opinions. We always get that. But I really found this to be a very sort of a show. I mean, I struggled to think of talking points, like just little developments, people qualifying, that's fine. Seth, Finn, set up for next week, that's fine. Io, Rhea being made for the Raw after Chamber, that's fine. But none of this is monumental. Jay picking Gunther, that was big. So good start to the show. That was big. The Yeet entrance I've already seen. People commenting, yeah, here, Jay's entrance doesn't need to be 10 minutes at the start. I completely agree. I completely agree. If we're going to do this all the way up to WrestleMania, it's going to get tiresome real quick, right? Real quick. But now that he's selected Gunther, we shouldn't need to see him on SmackDown, of course. So if we are going to do this every week, it's going to be just at the start of Jay's segment, rather than being on Raw and on SmackDown. The kids love it, though. You know how I feel about that. I'm happy for the kids that they've got this, because I feel like I had this when I was young. I feel like I had this sort of like Bushwhackers, Ultimate Warrior, The Undertaker, rolling the eyes back, all of that. And now the kids have got the whole yeet thing, you know? So I'm kind of pleased for the kids. But I do agree, like, as someone that is kind of just waiting to get into the meat of the show, doing a 10-minute Jey entrance every time is a little bit tiresome, right? But I get it. But yeah, my point is, like, what did we massively get here? I mean, I suppose there was a little tease of a new member coming in. I don't think, you know, the matches really set the world on fire. I wasn't massively grabbed by Logan Ray. I thought there were some moments there. Some moments in it. American-made War Raiders. A couple of moments in that as well. Nice suplex into the splash. Really enjoyed that. Lyra Bayley, I thought, had a nice little match. Liv, Raquel, Dakota had some moments. I don't know that there was any match here that like really grabbed me, blew my mind. But not too much of a chore to watch. Outside of the ring, just little bits. CM Punk segment, pretty standard stuff. Logan came out, interfered, got booed out the building. We've seen that time and time again. Obviously, AJ in the ring. Dominic came out. Very similar, actually. He got booed out the building. We've seen that time and time again. I suppose what I'm looking for are those talking points. I suppose, like, Gunther throwing his jacket in the face of the kids, which was a botch, is, like, one of the big talking points. Or Liv Morgan busting herself open, like, again, unplanned, but that was a talking point. Like, those are the kind of things that I'm thinking about after Raw, but they weren't intended. They weren't planned to be on the show. And the stuff that was planned was just, yeah. So I'm probably around a 6.25, 6.5. And honestly, when I say these things, in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, you know, you are talking to people that disagree with you, right? You are talking to people that thought this show was much better than that. And that is true. But I was surprised to find out that actually this time, right, and this is not always the case, but this time it seems like people are pretty much in agreement. We've had 119 votes, which isn't bad. And you can see, I mean, 58% think this was just good or okay. And if I was to vote, I would go that as well. For the reasons that I gave, I think there was more than enough here for this to not be a bad show. But I can't get to great. I think that's too high. I don't think we reached that level. I think this was acceptable. That's what I'm going to say, acceptable. But not a show that I think I'll ever really go back to be honest, so... there we go. That was what people were scoring it. Now, we've had 33 comments, and I'm determined to get through all of them, right? So I'm going to try and get to everyone's comments. So let's start working our way through that. So John Elite said, glad to see AJ was back tonight, and I love that he was taking shots at Judgment Day. I would be down for AJ Braun. Good face-to-face there. The Mania graphics for Mania. Jey dethrones Gunther. I think so. Liv got busted open. Would it be a dumb move if the new Judgment Day member ended up being Malachi? Maybe. Malachi might be a bit too big for that group. But then saying that, he's been away a long time. So, and he's a decent name. He would be a good partner for Finn, be a good way to get him on TV on a regular basis. You could do it. It's not my first thought. I didn't really have a thought, actually. But my first thought was not the AEW releases. To be honest, if you was going to go for one of them, Ricky Starks, because people don't know him really at all. Unless you watched AEW. At least Malachi Alistair was in WWE before. So was Miro. But Ricky has not been. So Ricky would not be a bad replacement to come in. Up-and-comer, young, you know, finding out about him. He's got a bit of charisma about him. Like, I could see him having a laugh with Dom, but then being serious when it comes to, you know, doing the work with Finn. So, of them all, I think Ricky Starks would fit better. But, no, a very interesting thought. Down Payment Blues said, Daze, hello. I enjoyed both the women's matches, plus the men's tag match. Had great spots. Lifeline for EO with their upcoming match with Rhea. That's great. Punk and AJ's promos were great. Overall, didn't quite hit the heights. It was just lacking something. So roll on NXT 675. Very good. Muggsy said Jay's entrance doesn't need to be 10 minutes. He ain't Undertaker. Good show, though. I thought every match was at least 3 out of 5. Match of the night was Ray Logan at 4 out of 5. Don't know why Lyra lost. She's the IC champ. Overall, 7.5. Also, you should start selling beanie merch. Muggsy, shout out to you. I think she lost because she is the champ. So she doesn't really need to be in the chamber. She could defend that title instead. So I don't know if we get her against Ivy at Elimination Chamber. I wouldn't think so. But there's a good chance we do get her against Ivy the week before or the week after. So that's maybe why she wasn't in the chamber. She's kind of got something going for her. So, you know, we need to put women in that don't. Kiki gives it 3 out of 1. Thank you, my friend. Ben said, Logan Paul, future champ. Ryan said, unfortunately, I miss Raw this week, but from what I've heard, I rate it a 7. AJ Styles versus Bron Breakker will be a very entertaining match, and I hope that Jay loses to Gunther at Mania. Comic Book Nerd gives it 8 out of 10. Taker 1990 said Raw was good, 7.5. My Netflix froze during Bayley and Lyra's match. How do we feel if it's Lyra Dakota for the women's IC title at Mania? Keep up the outstanding work you do. Taker 1990, shout out to you, my friends. I wouldn't hate that match, but was that not the final that we had? So we've had it. So I wouldn't hate it. I would much more be down for Lyra EO or Lyra Becky. Lyra Becky in particular, I think, could be really fun. 2 Irish girls. So Lyra Dakota, I wouldn't do it personally just because that was the final and I've seen it. And I'm definitely ready to see other matchups. So Lyra EO, Lyra Becky, I'd be into something like that. If we end up with Lyra Dakota, it'd be fine. Babs the Barbarian said, Days, I'm going to go 6.5. Not great, not bad. Things I enjoyed is they're giving the matches time. They don't feel as rushed. We're letting talent showcase their stories more. And I'm glad to see AJ back. The new themes are awful. Well, could have said that really at any point over the last 5 years, couldn't we? Right. To be honest, SmackDown was better, said Rhea Ripley, my fave. Don't really like Raw tonight. Alex said, great Raw. Liv and Io have amazing chemistry. I think whoever wins the Women's Elimination Chamber will interfere in Rhea versus Io. And I think we get Rhea versus Io versus Liv at WrestleMania. Logan and Ray have got good chemistry. A 9 out of 10 Raw, says Alex. Wrestling fan since day one gives Raw a 6. And there is the man, Yeet. Dean said, Raw was good, better than last week. I thought we were getting Rhea versus Io at the Chamber. The thought that Bayley versus Lyra was a great match. Love the stream. See you tomorrow for NXT. I thought Rhea, Io at the Chamber as well, but they've actually done it for the Raw just after, haven't they? Which is a little bit strange, but there we go. El Patata said, thank you, Gunther. Great women's matches, given time finally. Lyra is now a 50% champ. No cross, Sammy is sad. Theory, I think Howdy abducted Triple H during the Massacre debut, and they replaced him with a clone who can't book shows. Rating 6.5. That would be wild if it turns out that was true. Or maybe they're lovers and they've run off together. Johnny gives it a 5. Io Rhea on a weekly Raw. I'm going to lose it if they do one more time for the Yeet 4 weeks in a row. Logan Paul. Lyra losing her first match after winning the historical IC title was a great booking decision. I think that's sarcasm. Do you know why? Because it was followed with a... Stream though, 10 out of 10. Girl Scouts launder money for the cartel, said Johnny. Finally, someone brave enough to say it out loud. So, Johnny, shout out to you, my friends. Mike the Champ said, I thought Raw was good. Loved Liv and Raquel versus Io and Dakota. The Logan versus Ray match was fun, but I wanted Ray to win. We all did. We all did, child. The Penta video promo was fantastic. Jay picking the Ring General for Mania. Yeets. Jay gonna win. Yeets. Rhea versus Io after Elimination Chamber. Yeet. Oh, what, you're down for that? 4 out of 5 bangers. J Omega said 675. Decent episode, cool matches. Penta's vignette promo segment was very well produced. Wrestling Misfit said, I thought it was good up until the end when the New Day attacked Ray and it cut off. I thought switching to Netflix we wouldn't get cut off like that. But other than that, I'm going to go 7.5. Liv Raquel versus Damage Control was solid and AJ Styles was phenomenal. Nikki said the show was a bit mid, honestly. Didn't like Logan main eventing. The segment with Gunther and Jay was pretty good, with the match being made official. AJ and Braun, make it happen. It will cook. AJ and Dom will be pretty good. I enjoyed both women's matches and keep up the great work. Nikki, shout out to you, buds. Chris says, hello, Daze. Hello, Chris. Not a bad Raw, but not a great show either. About a 6.5. I think maybe they should have changed the main event with the opening segment. At least we would have got AJ and a tease of what could be a show-stealing match with AJ versus Braun for the IC title. One can hope. That will be really good. Yeah, AJ, Braun. That will be amazing. I'm very much looking forward to that. But then saying that, Bron Penta has been teased, and I'm very much looking forward to that as well. Uncle Revel said, I thought it was solid. Both tag matches were great. Creed's Raiders will be a good feud. Didn't like when New Day jumped Ray and it cut to the end. We aren't bound by a hard TV exit. Surely they could have kept it another minute or two. Logan looked prime. 725, said Uncle Revel. Nishi said, great episode of Raw. I loved Liv and Raquel versus Damage Control. Bayley and Lyra put on a clinic, and I have a feeling that the Creeds are going to dethrone the War Raiders. Logan is someone I'm not a fan of, but he is great in the ring. It's good to have AJ back. Raymond said, Daze, I thought Raw was good, matches very good, and overall Raw was interesting to say the least. Can't wait for next week, so I'll rate Raw tonight an 8 for me. Shout out to you, shout out to you. Briggsy said, pretty good show. I'll say 6 out of 10. Really enjoyed Logan versus Ray. Would have been nice to have had Ray in the chamber, but I don't mind having Logan. It was a good show, says Briggsy. Callum said it was okay. Matches were really good. AJ Styles versus Bron Breakker at WrestleMania. In my opinion, Raw on Netflix has been very disappointing. I'm enjoying NXT and SmackDown way better. Not mad that Io Rhea is on Raw after the Chamber. Gives us something to be excited about after the Chamber, says Callum. It's Ryan said, in terms of matches, wow, absolutely great tonight. Every match was outstanding. Promos were all mostly brilliant. An entertaining show with a nice rhythm. Female tag match was one of the best matches of the year so far for me. Just a great flow to it. So overall, 825, says It's Ryan. Tony said, Cookie Gates. Cookie Gates. Listen, you've got one of those little humans, haven't you? You've got a few, but I know you've got one that might be at Girl Guide age. Just make sure she knows, yeah? Just make sure she knows. I don't want to get caught up in this mess. Raw 5.6, says Tony. Tony, shout out to you. Matt says, rap with a C. So, Matt, thank you. The great one said, Charlotte Flair was watching AJ Styles' promo while yelling at the TV. That's how my promo was supposed to go. It is true. He went out there like, I've missed you guys, and they loved him. She went out and said it. They booed her out the state. The road to WrestleMania has been fast forward heavy for me so far, says the great one. Talking Trash and Truths said, loved the brutality doled out on Liv Morgan. She had that coming to her. But come on, girl. From one North Jersey girl to another, be better. Oh, love that. Love that. Gio DeFio said, I thought Raw was a good show. I actually think this is one of my favourite episodes of Raw on Netflix. Certainly top 3 to 4 area. There's only been about 5, hasn't there? I think it's top 5. I think it's probably top 5, maybe top 6. Logan Ray have a good chemistry as well as EO Liv. I'm going to give the show 7.5 to 8. So there we go. That was all of the thoughts. Look at that. About 33 comments. No problem. Clocks in at about the 20-minute mark. Love that. Love that for us that we got through all of those. So, yeah, thank you for the feedback. And, it seems like people either thought that Raw was okay, acceptable, or seemingly really enjoyed it. So, good news. We move on, of course, to NXT, which should be really good. I don't think there's any doubt. NXT has been the best show. I've loved it in 2025. It is a go-home for Vengeance Day, but it should still be fun. So looking forward to tonight. Should be good. And of course, we'll be back doing more videos this week, including a review and opinions for NXT, and of course, one on Friday for SmackDown. So awesome. Appreciate the support as always. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.